In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida is undeniably one of the most influential and frankly awesome hard and acid rock tracks to date. The simple but powerful riff, the awesome drum solo, the haunting and mystical keys. This is all about In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida by Iron Butterfly.
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, baby. Don't you know that I'll always be true?
First, let's learn about the band. Iron Butterfly was an American hard, heavy, and acid rock band formed in 1966 in San Diego, California. Their original lineup consisted of Doug Engel on organ and vocals, Jack Pinney on drums, Greg Willis on bass, and Danny Weiss on guitar. However, they have gone through many lineups over the years. The most successful lineup featured founder Doug Engel on organ and lead vocals, Ron Bushy on drums, Lee Dorman on bass, and Eric Brand on guitar, with the latter two also performing backup vocals. Their first album, Heavy, was released in January of 1968. It was released under Atco Records, a subsidiary of Atlantic Records. Although it featured no hit single, it was a surprise commercial success, reaching number 78 on the Billboard charts and reaching gold in the US. At the time this record was recorded, the band was going through complex lineup changes, with two members leaving the band shortly before the recording sessions. Luckily, the band had already amassed many songs to record and were able to scrounge by from what they had. Critics were not the biggest fans of it, saying it was somewhat weak and sloppy, but at least exciting and powerful. As mentioned briefly before, many lineup changes were made during and after the release of Heavy. The band ended up with their iconic lineup, which also as mentioned before, featured Doug Engel on organ and lead vocals, Ron Bushy on drums, Lee Dorman on bass and backing vocals, and Eric Brand on guitar and backing vocals. The back cover of In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida is not only amusing, but allows us to get to know the band members better. For example, at the time, 17-year-old guitarist Eric Brand hopes to, one day, continue in the acting field. Right now, however, his only concern is the Iron Butterfly, turtleneck sweaters, bananas, and the fair sex. According to drummer Ron Bushy, the main components of the song were written by Doug Engel one night after he drank an entire gallon of Red Mountain wine. When Engel attempted to play the song for Bushy, who was to write the lyrics down on a napkin, Engel slurred all of his words, creating the famous In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida instead of In the Garden of Eden. It was kept because it seemed more mystical and it worked better with the ominous and grand song. The song is supposed to be a love song from Adam to Eve, taking place in the titular Garden of Eden. Although the song was originally intended to be just a 90-second country ballad, the band quickly turned the short and simple ballad into a complex jam. While gigging in nightclubs and playing for bigger names such as The Doors and Jefferson Airplane, the song quickly adapted and morphed. The band once reportedly played a 35-minute version of the song. This 35-minute adaptation was performed half a year even before Heavy was released, which then in turn was still a half a year away from the album version of In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida's release. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida takes up the entire B-side of the record. The album version is famously just about 17 minutes and was recorded in one single take. Multiple edited versions trim the song down to roughly 3 minutes, the 3-minute version being the band's only song to chart in the top 40, reaching 30. The lyrics are very brief. The 3-minute condensed version contains all of the lyrics. It's the epic psychedelic jam that makes the song notable, especially the legendary 2.5-minute drum solo performed by Ron Bushy. It also features a noteworthy reference about 9 minutes into the song, where during the jam session, Doug Engel breaks into God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, a popular Christmas carol, because he, and I quote, wanted to touch the spiritual. The album In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida was released in June of 1968, just 6 months after Heavy was released. Although Doug Engel has writing credits on most of the songs, it is reported this was only done because the band did not want to fight with him over the writing credits. In my personal opinion, the rest of the tracks are forgettable, with famous and acclaimed musical reviewer Stephen Thomas Erlewine agreeing by saying that the other songs qualify as good artifacts, while in contrast, the title track is the epitome of heavy psychedelic excess. The album, mostly due to its title track song, was an astonishing success, reaching a whopping number 4 on the Billboard charts and becoming a gold album the same year it was released. It later went on to become 4 times platinum by 1993 in America. It became gold in France and Canada, and went platinum in Germany and Australia. It is notable within many musical genres, with it not only being cited in helping the psychedelic, acid, and hard rock genres, but it also emerged as a major inspiring force for the soon-to-come heavy metal genre. And so that was all about the song In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida by Iron Butterfly. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It would mean so much to me. I hope you enjoyed. This is Interesting Music History.
Oh, won't you come with me?